let's talk about 9 days. Now, before we go into it, I want to point you to a couple of resources that I think will be helpful for you. First is if you like this video and you want a written version of it, then I'd recommend you check out our blog post. If you're one of those people who like to listen while you read, I also recommend you opening up that blog post that's been written so that you can read along while listening to me as well. Just note that this video is shorter than that blog post, so if you want to learn more than what I give you in this video, then also go ahead and check out that blog post. Now, the second thing I want to tell you is that if you like the information you get today and you want to hear more from me and learn more from us at LSG in terms of 9 days, then we have a study guide that's coming out specifically for 9 days, talking about the historical context, the themes, the characters. But what's more unique to us at LSG as a study guide is we teach you our unique LSG strategies to help you think about your text in a way that's unique and for you to execute. So that's the actual written component, making sure that you understand how to break down essay topics, making sure that you can actually write a plan that it's in line with the essay prompt so that when you actually write the essay, you don't accidentally go off topic. And so as a result, we've also included a bunch of essay topics there for you and sample A+ essays written by past high achievers so that you can see exactly what they've done in the past that's worked for them and how you can echo that and create your own success in very much the same way when you're writing about 9 days. Alright guys, let's get into it. Summary. Jordan's novel traces the tumultuous lives of the Westoways family and their neighbours through 4 generations as they struggle through World War II from 1939 to 1945, the post-war period of the late 1940s and 50s, the 1990s and the early 2000s. Composed of 9 chapters and subsequently 9 unique perspectives of life, their family home in Rowena Parade, Richmond, becomes the focal point for Jordan's exploration of femininity, masculinity, family, and Australian society. Let's talk some themes. Family. The theme of family is a recurring one that develops over time. Jordan's inclusion of other families such as the Crouches, the Churches, the McCarthys, and the Stewarts stands in contrast to the Westoways. The juxtaposition of family life in this way allows the reader to see how such factors like wealth, class, and reputation can affect a family dynamic, especially within the war period. The idea of family is strained by the pressures of war because with many families' sons and husbands away, it left the other family members to adopt other roles. Not only physically, but the conventional emotional roles of traditional families of the time are redistributed, specifically within the Westaway household. Jordan postulates that the role family plays in providing emotional and physical support is of a far greater importance than the necessity to abide by society's idea of what family should look like. Women and reproductive rights. Jordan highlights the controversial issue of premarital sex, abortion, and the rights of women within the mid-20th and early 21st century. Indeed, it is this theme of women that becomes inextricably linked with the effect of a damaged reputation. When Connie falls pregnant, Jean implores that she has an abortion, in secret of course, in order to preserve her and her family's reputation within the small community. The issue of abortion is later revisited when Charlotte becomes pregnant in the 1990s, where the contrast between the time periods becomes evident. While unplanned pregnancy is greatly stigmatized in the 1940s, the 1990s offers Charlotte a far wider array of options. It is through Jordan's depiction of the 2 cases, Connie's horrific backyard abortion, and Charlotte's adjustment to parenthood, that she suggests the perceptions and attitudes towards morality, reputation, and women have shifted over time, emphasizing the importance of reproductive rights in the development of women. Masculinity. Within the parameters of her text, Jordan articulates how men conform or reject masculine tropes in an effort to fit into society. Toughness, bullying, and unsavory activity are presented as the characteristics of a man through which depictions of Mac and his gang. In its connection to the war period, the novel partly focuses on the notion that in order to be classified as a man, he must first go through struggle and hardship as presented in the group of strangers taunting Jack. ultimately bullying him into certain ideals of masculinity, which proved toxic and consequential. Jack dies as a result. It is Jordan who advocates for a balanced personality of both quote-unquote masculine and quote-unquote feminine characteristics as suggested in the character development of Kip, evolving, learning, and devising a true meaning of what it means to be a man outside of its conventional brutality. Attitudes towards Asia. Through both overt and subtle language, Jordan makes reference to the attitudes towards Asia which were prevalent at the time, specifically within the war period that saw many Australians fearing the nip. The derogative slang used for the Japanese represents a lack of understanding and fear. The bombing of Darwin and the attack on Sydney left many feeling particularly vulnerable to the Japanese, exacerbated by the fact that Japanese culture was not widely understood and was often misrepresented. The Japanese were stereotyped as brutal and inhuman. Over the course of the novel, attitudes towards Asia dramatically shift, especially within the early 1990s of Stanzi and Charlotte's generation. The philosophical ideas of the East are often referenced by characters like Charlotte as she draws on them to make sense of her own complex life. The novel sees another shift in ideology represented through Alex as his generation's perception turns to a more commercial view. Asian culture has earned a place in mainstream media and Western life without such gruesome and violent connotations as were previously held during the time of World War III. Now that we've talked about themes, I'm going to put a few essay topics just on screen for you. Now you can see in a lot of these essay topics that a lot of the themes we covered today are referenced or mentioned specifically in the essay topic. So this means from here on, what you'll need to be able to do is to grasp your understanding of the themes and use that to form your own interpretations of the text. From there, you'll be able to write truly an essay that's in your own voice and making arguments that you really stand for. Now again, if you need help on this, don't forget that our study guides does break down some of these essay topics in detail. We break down the essay prompt, we write up a plan with you, and then we show you an A+ essay, all fully annotated so you know exactly what you need to do to be able to replicate that success for yourself. If you've enjoyed this video and you found it helpful for your studies, then please thumbs up the video, leave a comment for me, and don't forget to subscribe as well. I love, by the way, meeting so many of you in real life, so if you ever see me in person, don't hesitate to come up and say hi. I always welcome having chats with you guys. Alright, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!